Hello and welcome to Piwik PRO YouTube video series. Topic of the video: enriching HubSpot contact data using Piwik PRO CDP via Zapier. Now, while I'm going to talk about HubSpot, most concepts could be applied for any other CRM platform. So, what we're going to learn? First, we're going to talk about the use cases, possibilities, which may give you some ideas for how to leverage use of CDP to enrich data in your CRM, such as HubSpot. Then we're going to dive into the step-by-step process for enriching and updating contacts using the HubSpot as our example. So, what would be some use cases? This could be sending behavior data on your website or app that CRM platforms such as HubSpot may or may not have the possibility to track, considering the fact that CRM platforms are not necessarily designed to track all kinds of specific interactions. They're fit for different purposes. Piwik PRO CDP, however, comes with website data tracked out of the box, so there's no need to set things up in two places at the same time, namely analytics and CRM. And I'm not saying your CRM platform cannot do these things, some of them probably can. All I'm saying is that it is likely easier to set things up in Piwik PRO. Moreover, you can track different interactions across time and express them as a single property in HubSpot. What do I mean? For example, user who visited refund policy twice and how to unsubscribe page once in say last 3 days. So not only do we have a frequency and recency of these interactions, which helps us define their relevance, we can track these across multiple visits for a given user. And most importantly, express that behavior as a single property in HubSpot. In our example, it's a churn risk property of which value is high. And this can make things much easier and clear. And at some point, you may end up with many different properties in your CRM, and when possible, having fewer of them could be much more useful when creating automation workflows or filtering data and avoid unexpected behavior like sending emails to people who should not receive any email from you. To build on this case, since CDP is made to make it easy to combine data from different systems, that data from all different systems can then easily feed CRM with new useful properties by integrating, for example, information from your support system. If a client has a multiple unresolved support tickets or rate the support they have been given very poorly, this data could be then fed into the CRM, allowing account managers to proactively address issues before they escalate and potentially prevent a churn. Okay, now let's get to the part where I explain steps for updating profiles in HubSpot using CDP, and we're going to use Zapier as a way to connect CDP with HubSpot. So what would be my use case? So let's say I'm an account manager and that I want to get in touch or create some sort of workflows in HubSpot based on the fact that the customer is interested in some additional products or services or features of our platform. How would we do that? Well, in HubSpot, this is my sandbox environment and few contacts, which are not real, but in here, that's my contact. So that's the profile that already is in CDP to keep things simple. But in here, every contact has a property, custom property in HubSpot called recent content interest, to which I'm going to be sending information that the user is interested. And I'm going to take an example of insurances, blog post category. So there's finance, there's insurances, and there's some other blog post categories, but I'm going to use insurances, which could indicate that the user has an account with the bank, but now could potentially be interested in insurances. And we want to, as account managers, we want to get in touch with them or perhaps automate the sort of custom emails that would send the some sort of proposal or offer to them based on the recent interest on the website. So how do we do that? First, we need to create an audience. So I already have the audience, and here we have conditions. Last user ID, meaning last user ID stores email data. So if we have an email of a user in CDP, we want to make sure that it is not empty, meaning we do have a value. So we have means by which we can sync the profiles between CDP and HubSpot. Second condition is lifecycle stage as customer. That's additional, but just to let you know, this sort of attribute is being updated based on the data from HubSpot. So that's the reverse of what we're trying to do in this video, meaning we pull data from HubSpot to update the values of a lifecycle stage. So every time when a user becomes a customer, that data is being mirrored in CDP. There's another video where I explain how to do that, so I'll link it in the description. But my second condition is lifecycle stage is customer. And finally, the third one is perform the event, which is visit to blog post category insurances 3 times, at least 3 times in the last 3 days. Now, those numbers can be changed. I could increase or decrease the number, or I can change it to exactly 3 times, more than 3 times, and so on. But I'll leave it as it is, and I'm going to save it. Second step is activation. So I need to create an activation. I need to hit Zapier because that's how we want to connect CDP with HubSpot. Let's give it a name. Insurances interest HubSpot property update. That's the name of the activation. And I want to send that data to users who are part of the insurance interested customers. So the one that we've just been looking at. But now we need a webhook. So for that, we need to go to Zapier, hit create, hit Zap. And in here, let's give the Zap a name, property update in HubSpot via CDP. So first step will be create a trigger and then action. So let's create a trigger. That'll be a webhook. Trigger event will be catch a hook. Let's hit continue, continue again. And Zapier created a hook. So I need to copy it and then add it here. Right? And now I need to specify data I want to send. So user identifier, that will be user ID. And in here, I need to test data. I want to first send custom value. So Piwik PRO, custom attribute, recent content interest, and I'm going to send insurances. And now I can send test data. So we can see data was received, and we have user identifier example at Piwik PRO, recent content interest, insurances. So it's all correct. We can hit continue. And as an action, we're going to select HubSpot as an event, create or update contact. So that's the one. Let's hit continue. And in here, we're going to use contact email to sort of sync the data between sync profiles. So that's why we needed the user identifier here to have the email. Email, that's going to be this one. And another one will be recent content interest, which is this property in HubSpot. So this is where I want to send my insurances data. So I'm going to hit continue. I'm going to skip the test and I'm going to publish my Zap. Now, because I've already sent the example, basically map it properly, I can switch it back to user ID and I can save my activation. Now, the next step would be to go and meet the criteria of this behavior. So user ID. Now I am logged in because I can log out. So I'm logged in. So my user ID will not be empty. And my lifecycle stage is customer because in here, that data is being synced between HubSpot and CDP. My lifecycle stage is customer, and that is mirrored in CDP. So I meet those 2 conditions. So what I need to do, I need to meet this condition to be added here to this audience. So I need to visit the insurance blog post category 3 times in a single session. So that would be within the time frame of 3 days. So let's do that. Let's go to blog post. Let's go to insurances. So that's the first visit. Let's go to another one. So that's the first one. Let's scroll down and see this one is insurances again. And let's just refresh that page to meet. So it's 3 times, at least 3 times. So I need to do one more. So let's go to this one once more. So that's more than 3 times. And that should make my profile to be added in here. So from 0, we should be able to see 1, and we can see 1. That's my profile, Mike Piwik PRO. Let's check if it's all correct. So content interest is insurance. That's the most recent one, which was sent to HubSpot. And now let's check HubSpot profile. I'm going to refresh the page and I'm going to hit on preview. And let's scroll down to recent content interest and we can see it's insurances. So it was updated. I could also check activations here. So I can see Mike that it was sent. So I can check that here as well. So that's how you basically go through the process of setting up a HubSpot property update using CDP.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and subscribing to our channel. Check the description below to find some useful links like free Piwik PRO sign-up page, community forum page, and links to related videos. Until next time.